Hi everyone and welcome to Service for the Community. I'm your host Matt Blown. Today we have Jeff from Rotary, Denise from Farm and Garden Club, and Kathy from Optimus. How's everyone doing today?
Great.
Good
morning.
Glad to be here.
Good. Jeff, we're going to start with you. Tell us a little about the Youth Exchange program.
Okay, our Youth Exchange program is an ongoing program year-round. Part of the year we're looking for host families and students are coming in, and that's where we are right now. We've already placed one young lady from Thailand.
Okay.
She's got a home and that's all set up. And we like to have 3 families when we do this. It gives the student 3 different looks at the United States, at Clarkston and the community. And it also sets it up so that if there is something goes wrong and a family is not able to take the student, there's 2 other backups right away.
Sure.
So the second girl we have is a 4-point student from Switzerland.
Wow.
So if you like kids to do their homework and get that all done, she's your gal.
There you go.
She's also got a number of other interests, and her English is impeccable. In fact, I think it's probably better than mine. But anyhow, she's coming in, and so we're looking for a second and a third family on that. A couple people have already expressed interest, but if you're inclined that way, which is a great experience, it's real fun. 3 months flies by, and the general reaction to it is, oh no, you're leaving me, and we see tears as they separate and go to the next family.
How many Clarkston people do you have signed up at this point, or are you just still collecting submissions for it?
Oh, we're still collecting. Usually a family has to say, I'm interested, let me talk with my husband.
Sure.
Then I need to talk with my kids, and so there's a family debate that goes on.
Sure.
And it's a big step. The first time, what we found is usually if you do it once, you want to do it again. It's a really rewarding experience.
Is it high school kids, all grades, or is it just certain grades you're looking for?
High school.
High school.
So, and each host family has to be in the Clarkston community. It's the hardest things for these students is to make friends. So once they've broken into the friendship ring in the Clarkston High School, we don't have to do it all over again.
Right.
So we ask that the parents all be within the Clarkston school system, and that way, in this case, the girl will have she can develop the friends, keep them all year, and it makes it a lot easier for the student.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, now Denise, this is your first time on the show representing Farm and Garden Club, and you want to talk about this kind of grant system you guys have that you're hoping people participate in. Tell us about it.
Exactly. Well, just a little background on the Clarkston Farm and Garden Club. It's huge in the community of Clarkston. If you go down Main Street, you see the planters down there with the flowers and the stones. That's all maintained by the ladies. They've been around for 20 years. They give scholarships. They do the library gardens. And they give grants to teachers. They've given $20,000 in the past 10 years.
Wow.
And they've, the grants have done things like, let's see my cheat sheet here, solar cell phones, microscopes, outdoor labs. One of the teachers sent a little email this year saying that she was racking her brain trying to figure out where she could get the funding for hands-on projects. Well, just look at the Clarkston Farm and Garden Club. Our problem is, though, we only had 11 teachers applying for grants this year. And our budget is $6,000. We only awarded $3,500. We have the ability to increase our budget, but only if we are able to award all our monies. So we're wanting to encourage the teachers to apply for these grants. And we're trying to get the word out that it's not hard to do. This isn't a big 100-page grant. We're looking at 2 pages, and we've made the application really simple. It's just, we ask the question, you answer it. We ask a question, you answer it. The application is online. You can download it. You can think about it, from here until the start of the new school year, because it'll be in the new school year, starting in September, that we start awarding the new grants.
Okay.
And so when the teachers come back, they can already have in mind what they would like to ask for, how it would fit into their curriculum. Of course, the grant has to kind of have something to do
like
with the environment.
Have a nature theme, yeah.
Exactly. And we've done hoop houses, bike trails, solar cell phone chargers, chia pets for the art teacher. I mean, that's simple, and
Sure.
we bought those things or the teachers have bought them, but with our monies.
Right. And so it sounds like it's for all grades, all schools in the system.
All grades, all schools in the system.
And we were talking about this a little before on camera, but what's what's the smallest amount they've kind of given out? What's one of a larger, what kind of range do you guys typically award?
Well, we can start at one we awarded for $95, and I've seen them up to about $800, $900. And they can be for simple things,
Yeah.
like even books. If you're doing a project on the growth of a plant and you need books for your elementary or even your high school classroom, you can apply for the grant to buy books for your classroom. The teachers don't have to go spend their own money. We have fundings for the teachers. They just need to make the ask through the grant.
Sure, sure. So it sounds like as long as you can work environmental nature elements into it, it sounds like a pretty simple process to apply and potentially be awarded a grant.
That's what we're trying to do, is keep it simple for the teachers. They're busy enough as it is.
Sure, sure. Awesome, thank you, thank you. Jeff, we're going to head back to you. You want to tell us about a wine tasting that you guys
yes.
that's coming up.
Clarkson Rotary does 2 wine tastings, and the one in the spring is all Michigan wines. So you can, instead of going all the way up to northern Michigan and doing all the tour, which they're closed now anyhow, you can come to the fountains on May 10th, and from 6:30 to 8:30, sample probably close to 25 different wines. So
Wow.
maybe you don't want to sample all 25. And the
Depends on the kind of evening you want to have, I guess, yeah.
Nice thing about this one is if you find one you like, you can buy the bottles.
Oh, okay.
So you can take home a case of whatever you like, or just one bottle of it, and so a little interesting aspect of that.
What was the date and time of that again?
May 10th, it's a Thursday, 6:30 to 8:30. Find any Rotarian and they'll get you the ticket, or they're online. You can go through that medium and get your ticket ordered.
Cool. Thank you, thank you. All right, and now Kathy, you're here with the Optimist, and you want to tell us about some student recognition you guys have done recently.
I do. Actually, it's been going on for many years. I can't tell you exactly how many. I know that I've been kind of chairing this for about 8 years, and it's been a real pleasure. So we call it the Outstanding Student Citizen Award. It's a great program. It's all grade levels. It's kindergarten through the 5th grade, and then we also do middle, junior, and high school. So what it is to recognize students for their outstanding citizenship. You know, we talk so much, and we should, about academics and the accolades and the kudos and everyone champions. Of course, grades, they are so important, but it is also so important to be just a good citizen and that all-around good student and good person. So that's what this program is about. So one of the goals of the Clarkston Optimist Club is to promote good citizenship in our community, just like the Farm and Garden Club, just like Rotary does. So we send a letter out to the principals of every one of the schools, and we ask them to select a student from their school community who does the same. So it's that kid that just lights up a room, somebody who exemplifies those great traits and qualities of being a caring, considerate, and just a great leader in their school. So this is a great program. It really injects a lot of energy into our 7:30 a.m. meeting. I think we pack a lot into 1 hour. We do a few of these through the end of the school year now as we recognize these kids. So the principals and the teachers get a chance to know them. So the principal, along with the teachers in each one of the schools, do the selection process. So it's just one student from each one of our schools. So it's quite an honor. I think the kids are excited.
Now, do you guys rotate which school is at certain breakfast, or is it all of them come to one big breakfast kind of thing?
Great question, Matt. It would be great, but then we'd have to bump that up to 3 hours or something, but we don't. We try to break it up. We'll do the elementary schools, a couple morning meetings, and then we'll do one meeting for the junior high, middle school, and the high school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I think we have some pictures of some recent students that have been recognized as well. We could take a look at some of those.
Yeah. So you can see, the parents
Seem
are...
like some happy, optimistic people.
They are, actually. You know what? These are great pictures. So, the letter also says to the principal, here's a letter, please give this to your student to take home. And the invite says, congratulations. But it also says to please bring people that are important to you, your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. We've even had other students who have come to, like best friends, they've been there that morning, so we host a breakfast. So it's real special, and I know the principals have shared with me that they kind of make a big deal of it, the elementary school principals, and they'll do an assembly, and it's kind of like a mystery who's going to get the award. So the letter also says that we hope that they can select a student who is not necessarily the best academically, but because they are such a good student and has such good character that they may not be recognized for that, and that's sort of the goal of this program, is to recognize that kind of student. A lot of times they go hand in hand.
Sure.
They have great grades and they're just a great citizen, but we kind of put that little sentence in there because a lot of times grades are given so much kudos, and sometimes just good citizenship.
This is just kind of a way to shine a different
recognized.
light on something.
Yeah, so that's what this program is all about.
Awesome. It sounds great.
It is great.
All right, Jeff, we're going back to you. You want to talk about some volunteer opportunities.
Yeah, so the community, as a whole, has got a lot of things going on in the next month or two, and the Clarkson Rotarians are signing up for different ones. The Maker Girl program that's coming up April 21st, I think half the community is going to be involved with that one. Pretty sure optimists are signing up there. And what a great opportunity. It's a great thing to promote. Another one's coming up. Rotary has its Leadership Awards that's going to be coming up this again on the 21st, so a couple of Rotarians are going out to that. And then on May 10th, I believe it is the food truck rally that's taking place that the Chamber's putting on, and they need a lot of people to pull that thing off. So a number of Rotarians are signing up for that too. So.
Awesome.
And again, the community is invited to participate, I think, in virtually every one of those things. So hopefully we'll see you all out there.
Great. Well, before we wrap up the show, is there any other topics you guys want to touch upon or anything else you want to say?
I just want to remind the teachers that they need to apply for the grants. We raised the cap on the grants this year, so we had it capped off at $500, now it's up to $1,000. So one grant could award them $1,000 for their classroom projects. And like I said, it can be something as simple as chia pets, all the way up to hoop houses or salmon eggs or live chickens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just make the ask and make sure you get your application in.
Awesome.
Got one thing I'd like to add. Both Optimus and Rotary work with the alternative high school, Renaissance High School.
Sure.
And the reward of giving scholarships up there is so amazing because you really know that you're making a difference, that there is a student getting this. And it could be anything from a kid with a 4-point better grade point to somebody with a grade point that is not so good, but when you look at the history, you go, the fact that they have a grade point is amazing. But our scholarships really make a difference. Sometimes when we give the scholarship to the 4-point high school student, and we know that kid's going to school anyhow, and maybe it's a difference, maybe it isn't. But for these kids, it really makes a difference. So Optimus and us, I really like that program. It's really rewarding.
Sure. Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming. That's all the time we have for Service for the Community, and we'll see you guys next time.